So for those involved in more advanced structuring in terms of wealth planning, tax planning, and so on, it's important to understand the network of European territories and dependencies. So this is the first in a series of videos where we'll take a deeper dive into European dependencies and territories around the world. And so with that, the first question I want to pose to Mark, who's an expert in this space, is what is a European territory and how does it differ from a dependency?
Okay. First, you got to get to why do these territories and dependencies exist, okay? So Europe was really the only countries in the world that had colonies starting from 1400. And a lot of these colonies never went independent. Like Bahamas went independent, was a colony and went independent in 1960. But Ireland didn't want to because the European countries paying for their defense and paying for all types of services and being represented at the United Nations. And surprisingly, a lot of these ex-colonies have decided to remain a dependency or a territory, even though virtually all of them have got the right to become independent. The only one that's talking a lot about becoming independent is Cayman Islands. Okay. So the difference between a territory and a dependency, now, like Britain's got dependencies, Norway's got dependencies, and then they've also got territories. The difference is a dependency is under the sovereignty of the European country, but they are very autonomous, okay? Or they've got their own governments and legislation, and the who has the sovereignty for a dependency, it doesn't have any right to change the legislation, but for a territory, it can override anything. I might go into the difference between British dependencies and British overseas territories, because there's more of those than anywhere else. So around the world, there's about 40 European territories, dependencies, outer regions, etc. Okay, that's all I would say.
Okay, great.